Guys, Ron DeSantis, I mean, he's a legend. In this video that I'm going to show you guys, he just goes crazy explaining like all the different government waste and what DOGE is doing to fix it. Gives them a glowing endorsement. You don't want to miss this, guys. Ron DeSantis explaining everything. Give this video a like while you enjoyed this clip.
With the legislature to continue that, we have the opportunity with this next fiscal year to have paid down 49% of the state's historical debt. You know, our guys are smart. They'll buy the bonds at a discount on the open market. They retire it. So we end up saving hundreds of millions of dollars in interest costs. And the result has been Florida has the lowest per capita debt of any state in all 50 United States. So we're proud of that. Now, how much different is that than Washington, D.C.? And I think that what you're seeing with like what Elon Musk is doing, they're going into these agencies with these DOGE guys, and they're identifying and rooting out taxpayer dollars that are being wasted by the many hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of dollars, depending on the agency. So you have these things like USAID. They'll talk about a big game about what it's accomplishing, but really, I mean, it's almost like a corrupt scheme where they're funneling money to political supporters and trying to promote an ideological agenda. And so they're doing a good job exposing, you know, really, really deep corruption into how the federal administrative apparatus actually operates. And I think that's great. And when the president announced that Elon was going to do this back during the campaign, a lot of people were like, well, cutting spending, only Congress can do that. And so, you know, you run $2 trillion deficits, you actually have to get Congress to reduce spending. That's not something they've been willing to do. And I think that still is a big question mark. But on identifying how this stuff is being laundered throughout the bureaucracy, I think this is a really, really positive development. But I also think you have to point out this fact that the only reason it is developed to this point where you have some of these organizations funneling money, they're even funneling it to favorable media outlets to be able, presumably, to get good coverage. How did it get to the point where any of this would be happening with your tax dollars? And the basic reason is that Congress has failed at its core responsibilities to use the power of the purse and conduct the oversight that they are empowered with under the Constitution, because what they do is, when it comes time to spend money, so like in the state, you know, we have a budget every year, legislature's only in part-time, but when things happen, I remember my first few years as governor, we had problems with one of the organizations that was doing our anti-domestic violence initiatives. Corruption, laundering money. Like the next week, the legislature came in and zeroed that out. I also have line item veto. If there's things that don't pass muster, I can do that. So we have all ways in the state to make sure tax dollars are being spent well. And obviously, we have a very limited budget, even though we do the core things. In Washington, they pass these massive thousands of pages of legislation, omnibus bills. Nobody can even read it. They literally will negotiate behind closed doors. They put it out, and then 8 hours later, you're supposed to vote on a 2,500-page bill. And it's not even just like reading 2,500 pages in the sports section or something of the newspaper, because what it'll be is, we're going to amend Section 35A3. So you have to cross-reference. If you really wanted to know what's going on, you'd have to cross-reference. It would take you days to be able to do it, and then that's trillions and trillions of dollars. Sometimes they'll just do continuing resolutions where the money's on autopilot. So that's for years. You look at the last 15 years, Republicans have controlled the U.S. House of Representatives more than Democrats have controlled the House of Representatives, and that's where the power of the purse is. And so it's been a failure in Congress to actually safeguard the money and use their power of the purse to police bad behavior. So the bureaucrats, they know the federal government's on autopilot. They know they're going to do these massive omnibus or continuing resolutions, and there's really nothing that's going to happen. So, of course, they are going to engage in bad behavior. That's human nature when there's not any types of checks and balances. So I think what Elon is doing is really good. I think it's great to be able to see a lot of the corruption being rooted out. But ultimately, the people you elect and send to Congress, they need to do a better job of protecting your tax dollars and defunding corrupt agencies in the first place. That was the whole logic of our constitutional system, that you would never have to fear what the government would do, because if you elect people, they can simply take away the money that the executive arm of the government was doing, and they haven't been able to do a good job. So we should not have a fourth branch of government. We should not have a bureaucracy that's immune from any accountability. The DOGE is kind of the first really significant intrusion into the bureaucrats' aura of invincibility, that somehow they can't be touched, and you're seeing the apple cart be upended.
Wow, guys, I'm telling you, Ron DeSantis does not mess around. We're going to dive into this, break it down, explain what's going on here. But first of all, thanks for watching the video, guys. Go ahead and do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up like button. It helps out with the channel, helps out with the YouTube algorithm. I don't understand it, but it helps. I appreciate everybody for your support. Okay, DeSantis is highlighting Florida's fiscal responsibility at the beginning of this clip, paying down nearly half of its historical debt, saving hundreds of millions in interest costs. Meanwhile, Washington, D.C. is operating on massive deficits and reckless spending, and there's little to no oversight. So why can Florida over here balance its budget, but the federal government continues running trillion-dollar deficits? Doesn't make sense. Enter Elon Musk and his team of DOGE investigators, and they're uncovering literally billions of dollars in taxpayer dollars that are being misused. They're revealing how agencies like USAID funnel money to political supporters, influence media coverage, and fund ideological agendas. Guys, if these agencies were doing legitimate work, tell me then, why are they hiding how they spend their tax dollars? If it's legitimate, why do you have to hide it? DeSantis suggests in that clip, guys, the USAID operates as a, did you hear that? Corrupt scheme. He said that exactly. He said it's a corrupt scheme, moving money through bureaucratic channels to benefit political allies and media outlets. I mean, how many other federal agencies are engaged in this kind of corruption? Like, if we keep digging, what are we going to find? Shouldn't they all be shut down? Let me know in the comments what you think. What should happen to the officials that are responsible for this kind of waste? Should there be criminal accountability? Let me know, guys. Congress, let's talk about it. DeSantis calls out both parties, right, for allowing the corruption to continue. And I love that. He's not just going for the Democrats. He's going for the Democrats and the Republicans, because the Republicans have been here as well, and they haven't done much about it. Congress passes massive multi-thousand-page omnibus bills, doesn't read them, and fails to use its power of the purse. Guys, if members of Congress don't even read the bills that they vote on, who's really running the government? I mean, is this incompetence, or is it intentional neglect? Let's talk about that fourth branch of the government, and that is the unchecked bureaucracy. Federal bureaucracy acts like an untouchable fourth branch of the government, immune from checks and balances. And DeSantis, he sees Musk's investigations as the first real challenge to their power. But my question is, how did unelected bureaucrats gain this much power over the American people? And what steps should be taken to bring them back under control? I'll tell you what the solution is. Now, this is my opinion, guys. Let me know what your solution is down below. And I'll even invoke DeSantis here. DeSantis is arguing that the founders intended for Congress to control government spending, but they failed to do their job, right? The only real solution is to defund corrupt agencies and hold bureaucrats accountable. Those two things, guys, when we start defunding these corrupt agencies, which is what the DOGE committee is doing, holding bureaucrats accountable, that's what's really going to move the needle. So should more states follow Florida's lead in cutting unnecessary government spending? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And guys, how can we as voters pressure Congress to take action? Let me know, guys. And hey, again, I just appreciate everyone, all the support, all the love, guys, from all my subscribers, guys. Y'all are absolutely incredible. Guys, we are making a difference every day, guys. That's what the whole channel is all about. That's why it says it right up there, right? It's called The Difference. Every day, we're making a difference for this country. We're getting the truth out there. Videos like this, guys, your likes, your subscribing, comment, all that stuff, it helps out, guys. It helps me get this to more people so that we can really uncover what's really going on. Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of the mainstream media being the ones that tell us what's going on. Being the ones that twist the story and change the narrative. I hate it, guys. I despise it. That's why I started the channel, guys, because I want to bring y'all just the truth. Right? What is actually going on? That's why I'm showing y'all these clips, guys, to show you what is actually happening in our country. What are the politicians saying? Let's uncover all the corruption that's happening in our country. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe, comment. I will see you tomorrow with another video, guys, so be sure you're subscribed. All right, take it easy.